Pixar just announced their next film after Elemental, which is Elio. And just like I did with Elemental, I'm going to be explaining how this will fit into the Pixar theory long before it releases. And this movie in particular has a big impact on the Pixar universe, and it finally makes sense of the ending scene in Lightyear. So to start, the description of this movie says that it's going to be a movie about a boy who travels to a foreign planet and is mistaken for the Earth ambassador. So it seems that this is going to be another sci-fi movie, sort of like WALL-E or Lightyear. The idea of aliens is something that hasn't been explored very much in the Pixar universe. In Lightyear, Buzz lands on Takani Prime and we see different species. And in Onward, which also takes place on Takani Prime by the way in the distant future, more details in this video, we can see unicorns and fantasy creatures that would be considered aliens. But the most mysterious depiction of aliens in the Pixar universe is in the short film Lifted. These aliens have UFOs and advanced technology, so what I believe will happen in this movie, based off the very little information out right now, is that this kid named Elio travels to another planet, which means that the people on Earth know that the aliens exist. Or at the very least, the US government does. What I find interesting and a little bit strange about the end of Lightyear is that Buzz references the Galactic Alliance.
We've been charged to protect the galaxy from the threat of invasion from any sworn enemies of the Galactic Alliance.
If you're not sure what the Galactic Alliance is, it's essentially a number of planets in a system that are under the same government. But what's really strange about this is that there's never any mention of the Galactic Alliance throughout the entire movie. So it seems as if the Galactic Alliance is something that's newly formed at the end of the movie. And that's why Commander Burnside creates the Universe Protection Division of the Space Ranger Corps. Although this is taking place in 2060, this portal is accessing this point in time using the same method that the monsters use in Monsters Inc. We can see the flag of the Galactic Alliance right here. Takani Prime is the only planet shown in this movie, and when they first land, they have no knowledge of any other planets in the system. So what planets could they possibly have formed the Galactic Alliance with? If you didn't know, the Galactic Alliance was a concept established way back in the first Toy Story, meaning that the people on Earth know of this Galactic Alliance. Buzz Lightyear never returned back to Earth, which means he was never able to tell the people on Earth about his experiences on Takani Prime. And that brings us to Elio, which finally explains this. Assuming Elio will take place in the late 80s to early 90s, this will be the movie that connects Lightyear to Toy Story and the rest of the Pixar movies. The beginning of Lightyear takes place in the 1970s. After accounting for time dilation, the majority of the movie takes place around 2060, which means that if Elio takes place in the 90s, Star Command had already made contact with Earth because of Elio. In this picture, it looks as if he's traveling through a portal that connects Earth to this other planet. This is using the same technology that Void used in Incredibles 2. This would explain how Takani Prime was able to communicate with Earth, tell their story, and inspire the creation of the Lightyear movie and the line of Buzz Lightyear toys that we see in Toy Story. When Buzz Lightyear was reintroduced to the world, he debuted with his new Space Ranger suit, which is why the toys were designed with that suit. Later on, the suit was redesigned with a utility belt, which is why the toy was updated as well. Although it's unknown what planet is shown in this picture, I'm going to assume that it's part of the Galactic Alliance. That would explain why Commander Burnside has the Bernie robot from WALL-E on his shelf. This robot may have even been named after him, because his name is Burnside and the robot is called Bernie. There would be no way of him knowing about this robot's existence if he never had contact with Earth. Finding Dory takes place in 2016. This is known because Riley from Inside Out can be seen in the movie. And she's with the same class that she was in Inside Out, meaning that it's the same school year. Inside the Marine Life Institute, a calendar can be seen advertising the WALL-E robot, meaning that by 2016, B&L had already begun plans for Operation Cleanup, the plan to send everyone to space while the WALL-E robots clean up the Earth. But back to the short film Lifted, I made a theory a few months back about Lightyear and what Zurg's plan was in the movie. Most of the theory ended up being incorrect because it was revealed that Zurg is an older Buzz. But there are some things I still stand by. One of them being the idea that the legend of the Ghost Light from the short film Mater and the Ghost Light was actually started because of the same aliens that we see in Lifted. The way the Ghost Light is described almost perfectly lines up with how you might describe the aliens from Lifted. The Ghost Light is the tractor beam of the UFO. Even in the new Cars on the Road series in episode 7, a movie prop can be seen resembling the UFO from the UFM short film. If you don't already know how the cars work in the Pixar universe, let me fill you in. When the humans left the Earth in 2105, the cars came to life and took on the personality of their owner, and essentially continued human history as if they never left. In the Cars short, UFM, Mater finds a UFO that leads him to Area 51. When Mater enters, he can see that the government is performing experiments on a UFO. The UFOs are functioning the same as the cars. The aliens left them behind and they take on the identity of the alien that flew them. Earth may even be a part of the Galactic Alliance because of this portal, except it's still run by the governments of the world. That is, until BNL takes over, and that's because the Galactic Alliance is run by BNL. Why else would this planet be expecting an Earth ambassador if Earth never made contact with them? This opened the doorway for BNL to become more powerful and eventually take over not only Earth, but have full control over the Galactic Alliance. As for the details of what the government plans to do with these UFOs or their relationship with the planets of the Galactic Alliance, we'll just have to wait until more information is revealed. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, and while you're at it, why don't you go check out my video on why Syndrome is Buzz Lightyear's father. Thank you for watching, and bye!